You're invited to a holiday brunch. I'm Michelle Bernstein. This brunch would be great tomorrow for the family or when you'd like something special for yourself. So join me on SoFlo Taste because brunch is served. This is South Florida. It's where I live and work. I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein. South Florida is more than sun, sand, and sea. It's a lifestyle of fashion, sound, culture, and of course, food. Food with taste from all over the world. Join me as we celebrate the food of South Florida and the people who love it. Join me as we experience SoFlo Taste. Happy holidays, taste buds. I'm Michelle Bernstein. Do you have a plan for feeding your family and guests tomorrow after the presents are opened? I don't. If you don't, this is the show for you. And even if you're not opening anything tomorrow, this is still the show for you, but open something for goodness sakes. I thought it would be fun to give you some food ideas, whether you have a house full or just want something festive for yourself. And later, SoFlo Home Projects Martin Amado will stop by to make your brunch table look good enough to eat. So let's get cooking. We're going to start out with a delicious soup of squash and all kinds of great spices. I've taught you before how to roast some squash in the oven to make a soup, but this is all done in one pan. So I'm going to start out with a little bit of olive oil, some butter, and once that butter starts to foam up, I will add the onions and a couple of smashed garlic cloves. So it's really up to you what kind of squash you like. This is a combination of acorn squash and butternut squash. Totally up to you. You can also use sweet potato. What we have here for spices, we've got a little pinch of cayenne to make it a little bit spicy, some cinnamon, some cardamom. I think I guessed this right. Yep, I did. And ginger. So everything is ground, and what I like to do is add it in somewhat early to toast the spices in the fat. On the front burner, I have some chicken broth, or you can, of course, make your own chicken stock. But if you want this to be just a one-pot pick, you can absolutely add the broth in later. We're not looking for color on the onions and the garlic. I'm just looking to get them a little bit soft and to work the spices. So once that's all working, go ahead and add the squash. Now I'm going to cook the squash until they just start to soften and melt and stick to the pan. And then we'll add our chicken stock. And eventually I'm going to flavor it with my favorite vinegar for this kind of thing. This is sherry vinegar, vinegar made from sherry. It's a delicious vinegar. I also have a little touch of maple syrup that I'm using rather than brown sugar typically. I'm going to let this keep going, and when we come back, I have a beautiful salad you're going to love for today's lunch. SoFlo Taste will return right after this.
Hi, I'm Hunter Frankie on the road for SoFlo Taste, and 'tis the season to be tasting. I'm here at Gulfstream Park to do just that. I'm here with John Cohangen, Director of Restaurants at Adina Grill and Wine Bar. John, tell us about the restaurant.
We're excited. It's the holiday time. We're doing a lot of private events. We just launched our pasture-raised natural pork from our farm in Ocala.
Sounds good.
And we're getting ready for our special 4-course dinner on New Year's Eve.
Do you mind if I get a taste?
Absolutely. I want you to.
Perfect. Let's go. Chef, what am I looking at here?
You're looking at a grass-fed, grass-finished 6-ounce beef tenderloin filet. We have a bone-in pork chop, and that's also our 18-ounce cowboy.
Oof. Here we go. That's perfect. Gentlemen, thank you so very much. Happy holidays. This is delicious.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us.
This is Yard House at Gulfstream Park. Adam, tell us about Yard House.
Well, we've just celebrated our 20th anniversary this month. So we first started in 1996 in Long Beach, California. This particular restaurant has been here for 6 years in Gulfstream Park. And we are all about our craft beer. We have over 130 tap handles of different craft beers.
Adam, this looks incredible. What am I about to dig into?
You are about to dig into our lobster mac and cheese. That is one of the items on our holiday menu.
I'm gonna dig in, but let us know what else we've got going on around the table.
By all
here.
means, enjoy. Then we also have our 16-ounce ribeye served with caramelized Brussels sprouts and sweet mashed potatoes, as well as our Parmesan encrusted pork loin.
It's so good. Oh my. Thank you so much, Adam. I'm just gonna keep eating if you don't mind.
By all means, enjoy.
I'm here with Executive Chef Nick Borgia of Brio. Nick, what's Brio all about?
We're an Italian-based restaurant nationwide. For the holidays, we rolled out 2 great new features. We have a surf and turf, and then we have a broiled Maine lobster tail with a spicy Creole pasta.
Chef, this looks incredible. What do we got going on here?
What we have here is our surf and turf. We got some creamy, cheesy polenta, we have mono-crusted eggplant, filet mignon, Cajun shrimp with a black pepper cream sauce.
It's a beautiful thing, and I'm gonna get a bite of this. Tell us about that.
We have some Creole pasta, some Cajun shrimp, broiled Maine lobster tail. Forget about it. The best surf and turf in South Florida.
It's so good.
Sorry.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm gonna keep eating this. Chef, thank you so very much for everything. This is amazing. That's all for us here today at Gulfstream Park. Come on down and have a tasty holiday, and happy holidays, everybody. Gee, I'm lucky I found this great parking space.
Welcome back to SoFlo Taste, and of course, Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a delicious brunch with your family. So I'm gonna make a beautiful poached lobster salad. I've got all kinds of great things that are only available right now. This is a Maine lobster. Thank you, Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, for giving us a live Maine lobster. You should really try to only find live Maine lobsters if you're cooking a whole lobster. This bad boy is about 2.5 pounds, which means it takes at least 8 to 10 minutes to cook it fully. Now, I cooked it just a bit shy of that because I'm not gonna heat up the lobster in a little bit of warm drawn butter so that I can use warm lobster for my salad. If you want it to be a cold lobster salad, just go a full 8 to 9 minutes. I never put it in an ice bath. I let it sit out and come to room temperature on its own. Salt your water heavily as if it was seawater. That's the best way to flavor up your lobster. For cleaning the lobster, you'll remove the knuckle from the center body. To remove the tail, you simply twist off. For breaking out of the shell, I just press on it a little bit to crack it up, and then I use a towel to just remove the shell from the tail. And then it slides right out, just like so. This is a beautiful lobster. So then you want to remove the knuckle from the claw, and the knuckle is really the only part that can really hurt your hands, so I try to always use a towel when I'm breaking it off. I'm going to separate the smaller part from the claw. You see how it stays intact, and then I'll use my knife to go ahead and crack the underside of the claw like so. And that just breaks open very easily, and you can remove the claw from the inside, just like so. Beautiful entire claw meat. Then finally, for the knuckle, you want to use a really nice sharp scissor and go ahead and cut 2 pieces. It makes your life a lot easier. And then open it up, and you can take all that beautiful knuckle meat, which, by the way, to me, the best meat in the lobster is that knuckle meat. I'm going to cut the lobster tail right in half lengthwise, and my warm butter is sitting here in this just little pot. The butter's on the lowest possible temperature, and we're just going to finish the lobster inside there. As I put the lobster in, I'm going to quickly show you everything that I'll put down on the plate and in the mixing bowl for our beautiful salad. You can use really whatever greens you love. I adore butter lettuce. I think it's a luxurious, beautiful lettuce. And so we have a gorgeous head here of butter lettuce. I'll just take off a couple of leaves of that, and it's really gorgeous and clean. I have here some pink grapefruit segments, as well as some regular orange segments. I've got a little mixing bowl right here. I have some watercress. You can use any kind of cress you like. This is like a soft watercress. It's a farm-raised watercress. It's just gorgeous. So I'm gonna add a little bit of some picked tarragon leaves, some picked dill fronds, a little bit of really good extra virgin olive oil, some of these segments of citrus. Lobster and citrus are just beautiful together, as well as the herbaceousness of the dill and the tarragon. Let me check on my lobster. I want to make sure I don't overcook it. This is barely on, just so you know. If you want to see the lobster warming up, you see it? It's just gorgeous. There's no movement in it. I'm just keeping it nice and warm in that butter, finishing the cooking process in it. I'm gonna mix this salad with a little bit of sea salt and the juice from the grapefruit and the orange. Mix it up a little bit. Put this down on the plate. This is just lovely for a brunch. And then finally, I'll add a little bit of avocado to it. So some nice pieces of avocado, just delicious. So the lobster is warm, but just cooked through. If you can see it, it's not rubbery at all. It's really delicate, really soft. Go ahead and place it right on top of this gorgeous green salad. And if you want, you can give everybody a half a lobster. That's perfectly fine. It's more than enough. But since it's just me here, I'm going to be generous with myself today. The other lobster claw, and of course, finish with its knuckles. The tiniest, tiniest, tiniest drizzle right over the lobster, and of course, finish it with some really nice big sea salt. And talk about having a nice Christmas morning. I can't think of anything more delicious and more of a way to really hug your family. Enjoy. I'm here with Chef Ray from Publix Aprons Cooking School. How's my egg?
It's phenomenal. I love truffles.
Don't tell them too much because I'm about to teach them how to make it.
Perfect.
Speaking of teaching, do you want to talk about classes here at Aprons?
Yeah, we do cooking classes. We have hands-on classes. We have demonstration classes. We do wine pairings, beer pairings, and then we also have guest chefs that come in. And in about 1 month, you're going to have Michelle Bernstein come in. On the 26th. There's tickets available for that. Definitely check it out.
So today's Christmas Eve, so you know what that means. Come buy your gift certificate
Yes,
for the classes.
Absolutely.
Whoa.
As you can see, if you're a procrastinator like me and you haven't gotten your Christmas shopping done yet, you can definitely pick up a gift certificate for any class that you'd like, or even bring your family and do that.
It's a nice gift. Thank you, Ray.
It is. Thank you.
You can take your egg with you if you want.
Bye.
Bye. Ray already got to try what I'm making you. This is, to me, the most perfect brunch food there is. I'm taking a delicious piece of fresh challah from downstairs, here at Publix, of course, and I'm just going to toast it in a little bit of butter. All right, while I do that, I'm going to go ahead and teach you how to make the most perfect flavored egg, poached egg. If you want to flavor an egg with anything, like for Christmas, I thought it would be kind of cool to flavor an egg with some chopped up truffles. I mean, why not, right? It is Christmas. Let's go for it. I think that the egg should be bathed in the truffle as it poaches. So this is a little sack of truffle with egg and a little touch of olive oil and the perfect amount of salt, so that as it cooks, it's going to flavor that egg just beautifully. So let me show you my trick, which I didn't come up with, by the way. Somebody in Spain did. You take a piece of plastic wrap and you put it in a little bowl like this, or any kind of a little dish. Crack an egg, and you put that inside. Take a little bit of olive oil. You really need this part, by the way, because if not, the egg sticks to the plastic. You have to use professional grade plastic wrap, because if not, I'm not really sure what'll happen to this plastic. And then your favorite stuff. I'm using truffles because I love them. So then you want to make that perfect little satchel. You bring this up and you twist. And after you twist, you just make a little knot, and that's it. So you've got this little bag of an egg, okay? So I'm gonna poach 2 eggs. I've got the water at a pretty medium boil. It's definitely boiling, but it's not boiling over. It's not getting crazy. Set a timer for 3.5 minutes. If you want the egg to be a little more cooked, you can go for 4, but 3.5 has always worked for us. While these eggs poach, I'm gonna go ahead and finish off your soup. All of the squash is really nice and tender. Go ahead and puree the soup until smooth. When it's nice and smooth, go ahead and taste for seasoning. I added a good teaspoon of kosher salt while it was cooking, right at the end. Yeah, I'm good. I don't need anything else. Delicious. And I'm gonna serve the soup in a nice simple bowl. And for garnish, I have some creme fraiche and pepitas, toasted green pumpkin seeds that are just lovely. You don't need the creme fraiche, but it is Christmas after all, holiday season. We go for broke. The bread is nice and toasty. I don't even cut it. I go ahead and set it right on the plate. When you are about ready for cutting open the bags, you have to be a little patient. You have to also be prepared. So you need a little bowl to put the eggs in when they come out. You need a scissor, and that's about it. But you really want to be ready when they come out of the water because you want your bread to be toasted and you want everything prepared for when your eggs are ready because you don't want them sitting around because they will overcook. Okay, so 3.5 minutes are up. Place the egg closed side bag down. This kind of sets the egg. You can also do it on your cutting board just like so. Bag closed up here. You want it to flip over and this kind of sets the egg, okay? You'll have a little bit of water, naturally of course, from the egg. And try, when you cut it, please make sure that you're not cutting into the yolk. Because let's face it, it's the best part. You see how pretty that is? So, with a spoon with holes in it, go ahead and scoop up your gorgeous poached eggs and place them right on top of that toast. I would serve this, of course, with a fork and a knife because you want to cut it open and it's just glorious. Top it with a bit of extra virgin olive oil, some celery leaves, because it gives it something nice and fresh and earthy. You don't have to, but it's kind of fun. You can also do some picked parsley if you want to, but I just love the taste of this stuff. And then some big, delicious sea salt right over the top. Talk about a breakfast of champions. This is just delightful. This one goes for the books. I was finally able to wrangle Martin Amado from SoFlo Home Project here, and look at this beautiful table. Tell us what you've done.
Everything smells delicious. So it's all about casual dining for brunch, correct? And it's about creating a beautiful presentation not only on your plate, Michelle, but also on the table for your guests and family when they come over. So what we did here is create almost like visual eye candy for all the plates. So we created different heights and levels. So typically what I use underneath here are basically just like a crate and some pots and pans, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
And then I covered this with a basic tablecloth. So you can use a tablecloth, or you can buy fabric by the yard, super inexpensive,
Right.
to create this look. And just gather all the edges like this underneath, and it creates a beautiful effect on the table. So then after that, what we did also create, beautiful little labels for the plates and the dishes.
Right.
So your guests know exactly, what they're going to eat on this beautiful brunch morning. Another thing that I love doing for the guests is making everything easier for them. So for example, you want to have the plates readily accessible, the mugs for coffee, used all the utensils in a beautiful
Right.
little Santa bag there with a
I
napkin
love that you
inside.
did that because that's how I actually serve my silverware,
Yeah.
always wrapped around with a napkin ready to go.
Especially for a brunch, because your guests, as they're going down the line, they can go ahead and pick up the utensils, their plates, serve themselves, and then go ahead and sit down. So, I love it. It's something really simple that anybody can do. Basic tablecloth, basic fabrics, and you have a beautiful presentation on the table for brunch.
It's very happy. Martin, I'm so glad you were able to join me today. It's so nice to see you here.
Everything smells delicious. I can't wait to try it.
You got to come more often.
Invite me over anytime.
Okay, you got it. And thank you, Taste Buds, for joining me today too. I hope you got some holiday brunch ideas from the two of us. Next week, we're going bowling. College football bowl game bowling, that is. I'll give you a menu that's sure to please the football watching crowd in your house, even if their team is losing. Now, Martin, what do you have going on in SoFlo Home Project?
So it's going to be a surprise, but I can share with you that it will be holiday inspired.
Thank you, Martin. We'll be watching. Have a great week, Taste Buds, and we'll both see you here next Saturday. Brunch is served.